So, hello Blender folks, welcome back. I'm Pxy-VERSE. Let's see if all is working. My voice, checking if it was good this time, because hello Blender folks. Yes. Okay, so thanks folks, sorry for having all these issues. Thanks Alotsky, if you're there, for informing, otherwise I wouldn't have known. So here we are back, and I'm going to finally explain what this is about. So I'm starting this for a mega project of 3D animation web series, outdoor work, right? I need a lot of world building, and so to make this happen, I've decided to engage in a daily production, mostly pre-production and development at this point, but CG pre-production, that is 3D pre-production, usually modeling, rigging, shading, all those things, like setting the scenery for the 3D animation and other stuff. This is the pre-production for me particularly, I find it's very, very difficult. So this is why I've decided that if I did something crazy, it's not crazy, it's not logical, but rational at least, if I've worked like daily on the long term, if at least I made like 15 minutes per day progress in working on world building, could be character, like here, rigging the character, the main character, the other characters, also world building for assets and scenery. Yes, I have another part here for the scenery, but I'm not gonna show right now. It takes time, and time is precious, right? So it's sort of those challenges, so I'm challenging myself, and I believe that will be extremely valuable to not only progress in this pre-production and later on in even production, and perhaps post-production, although post-production might be too boring to share any progress, right? So that the fact that if I am successful at this development, at this challenge of minimum of 15 minutes per day at least, yeah, minimum. Of course, eventually it will be more than that every day, but that will create a consistent progress, and that is what matters for me. And that, more than that, this would perhaps help in creating an artistic ethics for creation, because it's very hard to work on big projects, complex projects like animation projects, right? It's like and it's something like a big thing like series. Of course it might be subdivided into mini episodes, cinematics. I'm still working on. I have a concept that would be storymatics. Storymatics is a neologism. Maybe this word exists or someone has used already, but storymatics is like, imagine a cinematic. It's like a scene of a story. Yeah, like a games cinematics, but like it's like the webisodes of a series is like so it's not simply cinematic, it's storymatic. There's a thing about telling the story. It's like a new format, if you will, and I'm considering storymatics instead of regular episodes, like, because episodes is something to be built like in a way that is very traditional, conventional, and of course it's long, Episodes can be of, depend on the series. There are many formats in terms of time. For little kids, usually short episodes, 6 minutes, even less, 2 minutes, I don't know, 1 minute, but then it's not necessary for kids. Then we have also more complex story, like 12-minute story, 11.5-minute story. Then the conventional in the past, at least about 22.5-minute stories, so episodes, right? And there are longer formats. Building this in a one man's army, it's not trivial, right? So this is why even for the internet as webisodes, something considering the approach of a different approach, right? And so there's this idea of storymatics. So folks, I'm here to express in practice, not only in theory, this act of daily going back into live streaming, but also doing, most fundamentally, the work, the artwork of world building. And so that here will be today, we'll start doing this management, rigging of this character, because this is the main character, Dorothy, and this Dorothy template, because I'm gonna reuse most of her features, the rig, the proportions of the body, all that, the mesh too, for other characters which are similar, right? The same character design mostly, with some variations, especially the head, right? The face, but the proportions are mostly the same. So there's the clothing. So yeah, so those things I'll have to readapt eventually. But yeah, lots of things go broke here. And so to start, let me show you a list I have here on Google X sheet, right? It's I like to use these tables. It takes some time to learn, but there are enough content to learn. So I like this. Is cool to organize tasks. And so this I've been doing for a long time, but now I have new tasks, and this is the last update that I need for the project. So now this is serious. And so I'm live stream because associating in my idea this challenge, self-challenge of doing at least 15 minutes of world building per day. In the end of 1 year or 365 days, I'd have a lot of hours worked on that, but not too much if it were only 15 minutes per day, but it will be probably more than that. So the minimum of 15 minutes per day, and going here in live stream is like going to the enterprise, going to the workspace. So it's sort of an extra engagement that I thought could be relevant for myself to get productive, right? And so this is why I'm making this also to share this experience on the long run or medium term thing, because 1 year is not necessarily long term period of time, right? So why I'm start this counter? I'm just explaining here the proposition, but you can read in the descriptions anyway. It will always be there. So let's see here what I can engage here to start with in this first session, right? Number 001, because it will exceed the hundreds. If every day I get something done here, I'm certain that will mean progress. What I cannot accept myself to do is doing a lot of back and forth, and that is what I want to avoid here. So I have studied enough, practiced enough, experimented enough with rigging and other stuff, so that I know more or less what should be the solutions that I want and the solutions that I don't want. But there are some things that are unknown to me. So inevitably there might happen some back and forth, but not as much as it always happened for me in the past. So this time I really want to get what's happening here? Oh, here, okay, so now it's always on top. I'm using a small free, half free app here. What's the name of this thing? We don't see, it's window top, I think. Yeah, it's so that I can fix this always on top even on Windows 11. So took me a lot of time to get to find it. So what I can do here, there's this list and here is already done, so we don't want whatever is below this part here. Let's also put it in black so it's easier to see. So mount anatomical shape key, that's quite simple, but that requires a lot of concentration also to the character design. So no, let's do the lattice, new eyes lattice. But that also requires some attention to the character design, but I've been willing to do that for a long time already. This new update of the rig of the character's eyes, which currently use the UV warp modifier. No, it's the on the eyes. Yeah, it's on the eyes objects, left and right. So they have now the lattice is something else. Serves another purpose, I guess. Yes, it is something, a new implementation. Here the UV warp modifier. So these are surface eyes. They are not, you see, they are not eyeballs, but they could be with the another solution for eyes lattice, which is exposed in some tutorials in YouTube. And this time I never used that technique, but I've learned, so I think that could solve some problems, something that I could never solve here, and I'm not sure that new technique method would solve is that you see here, it's very hard to have these rigs, these these pupils controllers be work in an automated way, so you need to post them individually if we are making it's okay, but it's annoying. So I'm not sure if this is because of the character design itself or it's because of the UV warp modifier, maybe both, but I believe this is. So in order to just test if the true here, to know what is the cause of this, I will really have to make all the changes here, and it's not yeah, so it's a little challenge. So let's start with this because yeah, that will be a good progress. Probably it will take more time than 15 minutes, but if I work already 15 minutes on that, even if I don't finish right now, that will be good enough. After the timer end, I will probably be still working a bit more time here. And the idea is not just doing 15 minutes a day. Of course, it's doing more than that, but at least 15 minutes per day. That's the point. And so the eyes. All right. So first thing, I think I need to hide. No. I shouldn't hide right now. Yeah, let's hide some stuff that are not required. So I'll hide, yeah, the mouth, the hair, the cloth, original stuff, the armature maybe, yeah, the armature is not required, and lights, and yeah, let's use this. So let's give this a new, so what this is a n, that will be eyes lattices, and today is actually 6 and 12. All right, so we're working on this new version. So do I lock the body? Yes, it's already locked. All right, so first thing, I need the origin. Let's see, yes, it is there. I need to create a mesh that will be a UV sphere, then I push this up, then rotate that, I guess, on 90 degrees. No, it is not 90 degrees. yes, it is. Let's check the orientation of the object. Viewport display. Where's the axis? We see that some axis is missing. It looks like it didn't rotate the way I wanted. Rotate Z. Alright, rotate X 180. What about this? Yes, this. So rotate, yeah, that's positive degree on the y-axis, so I'm gonna be very precise on that. Here, of course, start some uncertainty because okay, I want to use these. It doesn't need to be like it can be like here, right? So here I would like to see the yeah, so here maybe for now let's use the not in front but the wireframe, no, wire here, so that I can see where the eye is. At this point that should be good that I use the model sheet because I've remade it. Let's see. Oh, the eye is okay. Yeah, so this is a more precise thing that needs some adaptation of the mesh. So this is something I didn't finish. I could be working on that. So you see the pupil goes much lower there. So maybe I'm not be able to conclude the whole shape of the lattice. So this will be very complicated if I need to fix the face first. So this is like a must. I cannot, otherwise I'll just have to redo it. So what I can do, however, is get some improvements here, and if it's okay if that doesn't match the curves, because it's the work of the lattice object and the lattice modifier to deform this mesh. Lattice deform this stuff, so procedural transforms to the mesh, so that it's very curious because then I can rotate the eye with the setting as if the eye was a sphere, but the mesh that is not a sphere, it's a deformed sphere, will still respond like crazy, right? That's a crazy thing. So yes, it's hard to explain, but the tutorials demonstrate this very well. And so okay, let's save that. So let's rename this. This is eyeball, right, left. And should I give this a material? No, not yet, because right now it doesn't. So I don't need to be showing it as a wire anymore. So let's go back to texture. I should probably symmetrize this or mirror, maybe just, yeah, duplicate, then let's use the 3D cursor, let's cursor to origin, and this is the eyeball, that's right. Let's do a symmetrize or mirror X global, but then I suspect that its axes are inverted. No, they are fine. Okay, so that seems to be fine to me. I don't see a problem with that. Maybe the shader could cause some, but then we can invert or anything. So very nice. What I like to do usually with objects is to lock them. Yeah, this one, let's apply. How do you say? Apply all transforms. Apply rotation. Oh, it's reset there. Okay. All right. So that works. And I also assume their origins. Oh, they lost their origins. Okay, so let's just object set origin to geometry and object set origin to geometry. I think that is should be correct. No, this is not correct, because the geometry of the object, yeah, the lattice, the eyeballs, they don't need that, but the lattice, yes. So here I'm gonna lock these things because I don't want to be, I hate that, accidentally be moving stuff. But then I've learned that if you just reset the object transforms, that works. But I find that very annoying. So because then we start working on things that are displaced, and then we can make a lot. Imagine a lot of mistakes can happen. So let's hide this. At this moment, I don't need the character design anymore. I will need, of course, but back later. But what I need now is to, let's see here. Okay, I have time, so this is, let's make the lattice. No, first let's bring this to the eyes. I don't need to be looking at this one, and at this point this one also is not required to be, we don't need to be looking at it. So I have a lattice object, but this is a lattice object which was deforming the other two like simultaneously. It's like some sort of procedural adaptation. I don't even remember why I had it, but it served some purpose. So what I'm going to do now, yes, there is the parenting. So this probably should be parented to bone, just as these other ones. So this is like, we check the parenting relation. Where's the object? Yeah, def head. Okay, so basically I need to check on the armature object. So the head is on the, sorry folks, so the head is on the def layer here, and so there we go. I think that should be the correct one. Then we get this and this parent to bone, and that should make that, if I am to pose the head, they yeah, they follow. Good. So that's fine. So very basic, no big deal here. Very tedious, but whatever. This is progress, right? And you don't need to. I don't even want people to be watching all daily 15 minutes or more of my progress, but I want to have it available to certify that this works, this, or that this would be working for me at least. So now for the lattice object. By the way, folks, if you really want to see, I have some documentation here. So lattice eye. So basically there is an older tutorial, cartoon lattice eyes here, rigging cartoonizer. So here it explains, yeah, 4 years old. So at this point it shows some rigging for this kind of, so that the eyes will be stretched through the lattice, and but this is not yeah, so this is one part of the eyelids. Ignore the eyelids, this is another simplified version, but there is the also lattice eye, I think is this one. So so in this live stream of Diku, I've asked him to explain what about this eye, how that worked, and he explained in real time here. Very funny. And so what's lacked here, that even rewatching this, is that the eye is not perfectly stylized eye. So it's the eye that is required here is not a perfect sphere. So it will be lattice deformed according to the character design, but it will still rotate. And what lacks here, that for me to understand, yeah, here you see what happens. Yeah, this is the demonstration. It rotates no matter the shape of the lattice deformed eye. It still rotates as if as the original sphere, UV sphere. So that is very peculiar thing. And so this will allow to rotate the entire eye pupil, or the eyeball, even though it's in a centralized way. The surface doesn't change, basically, mostly, if it were not for the faces, right? It retains its shapes as it rotates, which is impossible, right? It's like the surface is sliding like that. The UV is the mesh is sliding over a structure that doesn't change shape. So and so what I lacked here to understand, even with this good reference here, so I mapped it 1 minute and 49 about that, of this creating 3D characters in Blender, right? Okay, time's up. 15 minutes have gone. I can go sleep now. No, I mean, I could finish, but no, I want to do more work here. So where is the Blender? Sorry, folks. So here, the lattice, right? So I found out that I just need one lattice. And so sort of an improvement as I was testing this technique. And so this is the lattice. I won't bother about its axis. So the thing is, the thing is about the scale of this. This should not be, the scaling of it must be not on edit mode, but really on object mode. Otherwise it won't do the effect, it will do something else. This is very bizarre. And so without the adequate explanation, I took me some time to figure this out. I thought that that the lattice modifier was, or lattice object, those stuff were broken on newer Blender version, but no, it was just that I didn't understand what I needed to change. I was used with other control points, like so I'm not gonna bother about the axis. Yeah, so this is oriented with world space, so let's leave it as it is. So I'm gonna, the trick that I found that worked, was that we can actually always in front, that will be good, is that we can mirror the lattice for the other eye. So okay, so I start with the left by default, so this will be just lattice eyes, eye lattice, yeah, something like that. I'm not sure exactly now, but I think, yeah, so not editing it here. Apparently I need to start deforming it. Of course I need to make the binding, or the just set the right. But another thing I can do is that I can mirror this stuff. So basically, first let's create the, I think I cannot create the object modifier from the, so it must be here. So generate lattice deform, no sorry, deform lattice. Then I target this eye lattice, which should be okay. Let's bring it to here. It's okay if it stays there on top, so we don't need yeah, maybe I'll be needing this soon, even though I'm probably gonna change the, yeah, some positionings there. So yeah, no, doesn't matter right now. Eyebrows, yeah, can leave this. Then okay, so now this is bind, and I can, no, okay, so apparently something is not working. Vertex group, I don't think this requires a vertex group, I don't remember that. But if that's the case, let's make that vertex group. No, so something I'm missing here. Oh, it deforms. I see. All right. So I need to edit, of course, on. So can I alt scale? Okay, I reset scale. So it should not be scaled. Okay, so let's make some basic. It's not big. It won't be complete because I'll need the character design, right? Anyways, so but we can make some improvements here, right? Oh, what I'll do if the eye has to become like that? This can be a problem. Oh, I can still always readjust the lattice in other ways, so that can be complicated if I have to. Yeah, I can probably keep shaping this in ways that won't cause this those sort of dangerous intersections, right? So of course we can create more subdivisions, right? So you see, this is a bit time consuming. I think if they overlap, it's not a problem. So let's, yeah, I'm pushing them back. I'm not trying to match really precise. It's just playing a little with it, so getting familiar to what I'll have to be doing later on. So here basically we see that it's safe. Well, it could interpenetrate the mouth, so that could be dangerous if we had to. So maybe I'll have to make a lot of subdivisions here, like horizontal, so that I could push them up without pushing up all the eyes. So right, so a lot of things to be aware, but I think it's safe enough. So to make this eye with avoiding the intersections with the rest of the side of the face, especially, that was a little time consuming, a little annoying, but perfectly feasible. So it should be the same here. So good. So currently the eyelids mesh, it is shrink wrapped to the other to the eye surface, the older eye. So older eye. So this is why it will be intersecting right now, but this is not a problem. We see that it is. So if I. So this is the original position, and you see that it is completely different now. And then if I am to rotate not the lattice, but if I am to rotate the head, no, if I could rotate the eye, so let's say, yeah, they are bound to how I'm gonna start to that. What kind of rig is this? I need to control the center of the eye with bone, and yeah, basically I want to rotate that with, so maybe I could create a bone constraint, right? So a track 2, so yeah, like that. So I have many ways to do it, but an object bone constraint, yes, why not? So it will be like, not too familiar with that, but that could be a cleaner solution, right? So if that's simple, track 2, not track 2, like dump track maybe, the armature, apparently it gets displaced strangely, so I don't know why the dumped track is doing that. Never tried this rig this way. It should be simple. So track 2, okay, I already have the oh, maybe that's something about that. No, it really displaces, no, I think now it is. What is the orientation by, oh, maybe the orientation is completely, yeah, this stuff here, let's see. Yeah, so I'm used to use bones, right? So axis of the okay, where are your axes? Oh, it's there in the origin. So basically y-axis, well, it's aligned with world space, isn't it not? Yes, looks like. So I sort of, why that, oh, the center of gravity, no, but that is the center of gravity. I see, the center of gravity, of course, the origin, yeah, that's it. So this is not good, because it is targeting from the center, so that means that I need to have some sort of yeah, so it's like if I have this, then I create a bone there. Let's get some organized. So bone collection, that would be like a mechanism bone, I think. Yeah, mechanism bone. So, but for now, let's now control eyes. No, this for the face. So where's the mechanism? Yeah, could be here. So if I go on edit mode, I add a bone exactly there. Yes, then I could probably align this bone with something that is pointing forward. Yeah, like this, straight. And just because the y alignment might be better, so this is centralized. I call it mechanism eyeball left, and yeah, could give it a color viewport. So just the mechanism color I'm using usually this gray one or turquoise, I don't know. Then what I need to do is that I want to parent the bone to this, and this will be parent to the head. That should work. So if I get here, parent this bone to the keep offset, then let's say that I symmetrize that. Yeah, so I don't have to care about the so the only thing that I need to do is to change the parents here. So by selecting this bone, this, let's control P bone, and so here again let's select this one instead. Okay, so if I change this, I locate this. So if I rotate, I get this, but oh, the lattice is working. Yeah, it is working already. Otherwise, there will be a lot of interpenetrations here, right? So, and now I need to use this to track to. So let's see what I can do here. I want this to, so if I turn off the lattice modifier here and I rotate this, well the eye is a ball, so it doesn't matter, but you see, yeah, so I cannot demonstrate what I wanted, but you got the idea. If that thing, if I applied the lattice, of course that would control A, right? Apply. If I apply then and then I rotate, then you see what this ugly thing. So that would be the rotation from the center, right? But it is not applied. So what that means is that right here, right? Let's go back. I think it's okay. So there, yeah, lattice was applied. Need to go back until, yeah, I think. Okay, here now it's a safe position. and here so now what I'm gonna do is that I hope this will work here in this, because I haven't finished there, and if that is the case I will have perhaps to create more of subdivisions to make this safer, so they don't overlap transforms, yeah, one with the other, so that could create some issues. So alright, so what I can do here is use the same, so I'm gonna copy modifiers, and so of course this doesn't work because I need to mirror this thing, so mirror, I thought this was possible. Huh. So maybe they removed it. I know I did something about mirroring. I should have the file where I did something about that. No, it was not mirroring the eye, because that would be... Yeah, maybe it was not mirror, so after it was just... so sorry folks, maybe it was not mirroring, it was just... because we don't have generate here. So it was just that I got this stuff, okay, it's free to transform. I've basically duplicated this, and then this will be lattice right. Then I would just set origin, I just mirror, yeah, mirror like that, right? So, and there you go. And then we just change the lattice, and so they are equivalent. But I still think I could do more than that, but yeah, maybe it's just bad wrong memory. So here lattice, let's just change the name of this. Can we have some sort of symmetric thing here? No, so the only thing I can do is still, I can work like that, but after I can stuff, right? And so as I can remake this thing, so here if I rotate from the center, there we go, it's safe. These intersections there are normal. So now it looks clear that the problem of the rotation of the eyes, if you consider that the pupil start really there, which is probably incorrect, but if it started there for both eyes, we can clearly see that that problem will persist, like you see. So the solution to that might be with some of automating that, will be perhaps with some driver on the graph editor, and that can be quite annoying, but it should be feasible. It is feasible, I believe. It's just that we need to know the x and y on the graph to know how the curves should be shaped in the graph in order to have the proper proportional motion of the eye pupils, which will lead to the correcting of the... So it's a character design thing. It's not about the method. Interesting to know. So I have this, I wasn't sure, right? So now just to complete this rig, I will not complete the rig, but to complete the setup of the new eyes, I'm gonna pick the... Yeah, so I want the... I need to be on... here. So we got a lot of mechanism bones, but we just need this. Then I'm gonna get the control. So that means basically one thing, folks. If this thing doesn't solve the character design thing, that means that I do not even need to change the rig, ice rig. Yeah, so why am I bothering? Good thing, good finding. So this is also progress. So I have to decide what I prefer. But since we are here, let's just finish this thing. Yeah, so I need this. Yeah, it must be on pose mode, right, folks? So okay, so here, so I just have to gotta, yeah, it's not even aligned, so these are for other setup I set up, so it will be track 2 or dump track. What was the other for the other eyes? What? Oh no, the others, they use UV warp modifier, so it's not equivalent in terms of bond constraints. No. So here I get dumped track, yeah. So basically this gets the Y. Yeah, exactly that. So that's fine. And then I can just symmetrize, and that should do. Great. So okay, I have two eyes. The question is, what is easier to shape, the mesh of the eye surface that I have, or the, actually I've oh, I know now the why I was confused about the lattice is that actually what I could do on both sides was that unique lattice modifier for the shape of, so you see there's a shape here that is maybe not this, and that shape is transformed lately with a with this lattice, and so this lattice is exactly on the center, and it is shaping both eyes are being affected by the same lattice object, and for some reason that a string of 1, yeah. So because this was final, yes, in certain sense that means I can technically, because the eyes are symmetric, I could have, I can have a single lattice object for both eyes. Maybe more subdivisions, it's unclear, but it worked here. But remember that this had already a shape, so this was just an adjustment of shape. So maybe for the central ones, yeah, but they are symmetric, so I think it's feasible. Yes, so that would be a one less object. Yeah, so basically I'll have to make the subdivision of the lattice in the middle and do something like that. You see here, it would affect both eyes the same way, so that should work. And so that will be and so in the end, Yeah, the only annoying thing with that is that I'll have to, yeah, I have to be modeling them. Yeah, let's see, can I? No, I need that one to test this. So if I did that, yeah, those are lost. It's annoying if I have to be doing them separately, but what I can do, let's say if I do that, interactive mirror, no, let's see, tools, workspace, no, there should be flip distorted, flip, make regular, no, snap, no, x-axis, no, this is flipping, mirror, x global, no, no, it's not like symmetrized stuff that flips, so they sort of, there's this some strange option there with, I don't know what does the interactive mirror, and there doesn't seem to have some tools here for this kind of edition, so it's not like a edit mode of mesh object. So mirror, symmetrize, yeah, so and I have no idea what's that. So basically yeah, so maybe this is not a so good idea if I have too much work to do, so maybe this is better. Yeah, then perhaps we could still join this. Can they be joined? Control G, no, cannot. So yeah, so let's keep like that. So this is actually just for, it's risky because you have a lot of work to do more if to set. Yeah, then the location of individual vertices, we can have it perfectly symmetric, but it could be very time tedious. So there's no X mirror thing here, so I think it's, yeah. So folks, that's it. I think that's a good start. And now I think I'm gonna close this, and if I come back here it will not be to continue this because this is the minimum of each day, right? So this is just the first one, and so we got some progress and we got some motivation to continue this work. So at least what I did here, besides training this technique and finding out some things, I just found out that this doesn't solve the major problem of the eye, so that means that I don't need to use this technique, the lattice modifiers technique, if I don't want to. So, but it could still be, also there would be, I would need to find out, I could find it right away now. Okay, so one thing that I needed to find here is what happens if this rig works with the yeah, if this motion doesn't disrupt the shrink wrapping of the mesh there. So it's very easy to test here. I just need to get the shrink wrap eyelids to shrink wrap onto the eyeball left. So now let's see if the eyelids mesh don't go crazy. No, it seems to not be going crazy. You see, it sort of gets some crazy interference that didn't. Yeah, so this was so I really suspected that could happen because the mesh has faces, right? So maybe we can reduce, but it's ugly, right? Even if we reduce this is not very optimal, a very smart solution, right? So if I added maybe a subdivision that to the optimal display, let's say that one, right? So let's see. So maybe that that is okay. I'm not sure. I think it will still, yeah. Yeah, so it is bizarre. More subdivisions than that, I think that is couldn't it be caused by other motion instead? I'm not sure. I think it's really this lattice is the deformed lattice of the mesh. Because in the other approach that we don't have, let's try to augment even more and see if that it still make things tremble. I'm not sure if it's maybe some shading thing. It's very slightly though, but it's it could be annoying. It's not ideal. So let's check now. Let me see if this is just not some sort of glitch, but I'm most certain that this never happens on the other. So here let's just eye surface left. Then I can hide this. And so this thing, but this is still, but the object is invisible. Is not just invisible. It's not being displayed, so it's not working. So you see, there's no trembling at all. So there's no interference there. So this is very, very technical relevant. So this is a very minutious detail. Who would ever come up with this problem? Well, only myself, I guess. But it could occur that other riggers, artists have come up with this kind of problematic. So we just found out two good reasons, main fundamental reasons why not to use that technique, which sadly it's a great technique, but we just saw some limitations. The first reason, actually it's three reasons not to use this in this particular project. So first reason, I was attempting to change it so that it will fix this problem here, right? But I found out that it has little to do with that. This is mostly a character design thing. So it doesn't solve this right away. It's not a problem of the UV warp modifier. It's a character design issue. I've made impossible character design. So cartoonish stuff, right? Then second, it creates this problem of trembling, the other, right? The lattice things as the, I need to do all this streaming crapping targets, so not gonna bother. So it creates the trembling thing. So this is bad. And finally, of course, if I had to swap those structures, that means I will have to, like, it's like in making all the rig over again. So this is not required. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna save this as a backup of isolatives. Yeah, it's there. So kept experiment. So this is just like yeah, it's there. So I have this kept experiment. So if I ever want to check this back, so what I'm going to do after these conclusions is that my conclusion is that, well, say goodbye to all that. We're not gonna make this stuff, this eyes rig. This is something else. So we're gonna stick to the UV warp modifier because it's better for my right, it's better for my the approach I'm making because of the shrink wrapping feature that I use. If the eyelids weren't based on shrink wrapping feature, maybe that would be workable. So the only thing that I need to do here regarding the eye is just about the model sheet, so some adaptation, right? So this will be our next. So here, as I go back to this stuff here, new artist, no, okay, so no need, yeah, here I'll have to put information, all that I've said, no, 3 reasons. Not to implement, yeah. Then but one thing that I need to set, however, is reshape the eyes, yeah, eyes, eyelids, yeah, eyes region, and maybe even eye surface, mesh object, reshaping according to character design. Yeah, so this is very crucial because that will be for the face, but that is associated with where's this new eyes, yeah, it is associated with this, so we'll keep those two together. They are associated. Automation of, oh, there's also associated this eye stuff, so okay. Any other eye stuff here? I don't see. So we bring this back. That is concluded, but we just gave up on this. And there we go. This is very crucial, and a lot of other things, but we are going through all of that eventually. That's it. What we don't need to do, we just take off. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope that is inspiring enough. So we'll be back for more as the time goes, and take care. Happy blending. See ya, folks.